Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. Sometimes that happens where we all kind of agree on something, and then the teams are like, "Nah, we're just going to play Mexico," like, which might happen. I think that's okay if it does happen. Although, you know, we might not be too happy with it, but perhaps it's the best for the team. Let's see what they do decide to go for, as it will be Carahouse actually with the first ban, as they will take away that Eagle Eye. So, Kyle, you were talking about that as a potential choice. Not going to be the map that does come out here.
Yeah, I think it's a good ban coming out from Carahouse. It's one of the good two options I think Kungara had here to pick outside of Mexico. And Kungara, they have to be pretty cautious with what they ban out here. Ankara, definitely a strong choice though.
I think it's the right choice to ban Ankara. It's a strong map for Carahouse, one of the weakest maps from Kungara, so banning either Ankara or Compound is a no-brainer for me. So as you can see, Carahouse picking Compound, not a big surprise for me.
Yeah. Compound selection does come through. Now this is kind of the pick I'm most interested about. Will we see Mexico? Will we see Subbase? Or will we see something entirely different if they, you know, took some time in between the matches to say, okay, we're just going to send it on Black Widow. Like, this is just going to be our choice. They did just get to play it. It didn't look great, but also ranking, we're kind of charging up, especially towards the end of that map, to really crush them there. But let's see what they do go for. It will be the Mexico, so they're going to go back to tried and true, or at least practiced and true. And we'll see if it works out for them this time.
Yeah, it's a really high risk here as well, considering the big thing working for them was that blacklist side, and they're going to have to start on it again, but it didn't work at all against ranking. So I feel like the Vietnamese teams on their GR side are very strong, and we even saw it in the stats before this match. They have around a 70% win rate for Carahouse on the GR, even though they've actually lost a lot of their series.
So now we have Port, Black Widow and Subbase left in the map pool. Not a big surprise. I mean, Carahouse also got stomped by Pacific Magda on this map, right? 10-2 scoreline. Didn't look too good for them on this map. So I think Subbase would be a decent third map for the A team.
Yeah, I think it's the right choice here to go Subbase for it, but actually they ban it out. I'm surprised to see Port as the final map in this series. Maybe they just feel strategically a little bit stronger on what they can do on that map, and I do feel like Carahouse has a lot of issues on Port as well that could be taken advantage of, so maybe that's their play here, but they've got to hope they can make that distance here. I think Compound is going to be a tough place to start this series, just knowing Carahouse should be a lot stronger on this map, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely rough for Kungara. After going 10-4, 10-3, they got to play on a really strong map of their opponents with the first map pick going the way of Carahouse. So now it's like, better step it up. Otherwise, if they get crushed on this one, I don't know how you can really stand mentally after that. Like, as a team, as a 5-man unit, can you go into Mexico then and say, okay, we're going to beat them now, and actually truly believe that after suffering another loss? Now, it's not a foregone conclusion. We still will play out Compound, of course, and also curious about the mental state of the other side of Carahouse. You know, can they bounce back in a big way? Will they be able to play their top game? Will Dola step up to the plate, or maybe Kungara come back with a fury after that loss, and all of a sudden Carahouse get behind, and they're kind of getting flashbacks from yesterday?
Yeah, the one nice thing about playing back-to-back is at least your shot's warmed up, you're ready to go. It might give them a slight advantage in the aim game if it takes a moment for Carahouse to kind of come to life in the aim game in this matchup. So I think, you know, maybe having their opponent's map pick first might not be the worst thing in this situation if Carahouse isn't really warm and ready to go.
Right, I agree. I feel like the issue in Compound is you need 5 consistent players on this map because you need good team play, good cohesion. It's much easier to carry your team, for example, on Mexico or Subbase on smaller maps than on Compound, you know, when it comes to rotations, good communication, good team play. And I feel like overall, Carahouse, they just have the better player pool, just have the better players on their squad. Because on Kungara, I mean, okay, we saw Brandon stepping up to the plate on Mexico at least, but besides of that, only Kais and Famous had some good performances, I feel like. So on Compound, it should be like 80-20 in favor of Carahouse, in my opinion.
Yeah, you are right. I mean, it's pretty rare that we do see like 1 or 2 guys really step up and totally carry this map of compounds. We saw it a little bit actually with the Anubis with their sub coming in and 7-on-Zin actually kind of doing that for the team, which was pretty interesting for many different reasons. But yeah, it's pretty rare, and Anubis still went on to lose that map as well. So you got to be really crisp on this one. A very strategical map, a lot of rotations, a lot of executions that will be very important. As Shady says, I gotta leave, but we gotta start the show. There's no time for the Shady. Sit back down.
Oh man, it's gonna be a tough one here, I feel like, for Kungara. I want to see Famous pop off this game, though. I was really hoping for it in that first game, and it was a bit disappointing for him. I think Kai's was the only kind of shining star we saw in that first matchup, but we know Famous has the capability. I mean, this was the 90% headshot man in the openers for his team, had 20 kills a map, and then when he needs it most, it's just nowhere to be seen in this wildcard so far, but it is going to be a tough road ahead to make it happen against this team. But Carahouse, a little bit shaky as of late. Would love to see a good game from them as well. They kind of need it at this point. I mean, when you have 10-1, 10-1 back-to-back, I mean, both of these teams going into the series off of some pretty harsh 0-2s.
Actually, I believe it's the first time that Famous is playing Compound at an offline event, because back then, when he was competing for Carbon, there was no Compound in the map pool, right? So let's see how it goes for him on this map. I mean, Famous is known to carry his team on Mexico for sure, as well as Subbase. But again, on Compound it's tough because of long rotations towards B and A side. I mean, Baby, for example, is known to carry Baisha on the specific map. Let's see what Famous can bring to the table. Seems like Carahouse is hyped, definitely, to win this one.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I think for getting your team back on the same page, that's really important. Like the team bonding aspect after a tough loss, definitely going to be extremely important. Make sure nobody's tilted coming into the next day. Make sure everybody's on the same page in terms of, you know, trying their best. Everybody executing the right strategies together and stuff like that. So good to see that. And we should be just about ready to hop onto this first map of Compound in just a moment, as it will be Compound, Mexico, and Port. Pretty interesting map pool for this one.
Yeah, I feel like Compound, over the years, is getting more and more prominent in the map pool. However, we have seen a lot of Eagle Eye for some reason in this CFS so far, so not going to be drawn in this one. But when we talk about first time on Compound for Famous, it was his first time on Eagle Eye as well, ever. So I feel like that's a good sign, at least for what's to come potentially.
Yeah, he dropped like 30 kills on that map too. Yeah. It was quite the long one, as it did go 13-11, but lots of time to continuously carry, and we'll see if that'll happen this time around. I want to see a close map. Haven't had one of those in a couple of matches now, and maybe this one will be the one to deliver. As we hop onto this one, Carahouse will start on the Blacklist side. It is their map pick, so Kungara electing to start on the GR side.
Early on here, it's going to be Mercs and Famous going for that A-long control. Carahouse taking that top mid position, trying to poke around and see what they can find here. They do have the bomb alone outside of the B-long position, though. Not a huge fan of bomb carriers playing alone, but they are starting to group up for this full B take, which puts a lot of pressure onto Michael. He's forward and alone on this B side of the map.
Yeah, generally, if you are going to go for this, you got to be ready to back away right as soon as you see that, and that is exactly what he's going to do. Just a little peek. Just going to throw a smoke, trying to buy some time, and yeah, pretty common strategy we've seen many, many times, just to push into pillars and then kind of back away and say, okay, we're going to rotate elsewhere, generally through mid, and then choose a site.
Nice flash there onto Famous, forces him out of position. And Carahouse, they're quickly working into this B split. There's only 2 players to try and hold it off. Brando has to play safe here in that pit position. The rest of his team trying to rotate in for support, but Brando, he's got to stay alive and connect on some of these shots. He just can't hit it though. Michael on the rotation in though, gets a huge double kill, and now it's wide open. He gets the triple as well. Shady left alone on the back of the bomb site. Kayas has to get in quickly, but Shady still can't recover this C4 successfully. Michael, he's held the line perfectly, gets the 4th kill. Huge shots from Michael.
Impressive stuff from Michael, stepping up finally for his team. I think this was by far his best round in this tournament. But yeah, Brando looked kind of shaky here, covering GR base from this B main angle. Maybe he should adjust his positioning, because I think if you want to cover GR base, you should maybe choose a different angle, maybe like behind the door on the left side. But yeah, anyway, Michael basically saved him and got the 4-piece. Impressive stuff.
Yeah, Michael was actually not bad in the last map that we did see in the match before against Ranking. So he looked pretty angry as he got the 4K. I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe he's not happy with the way, you know, the team's getting rotated on, and it seems like there does seem to be a lot of open doors into the site. So, but either way, I mean, he got the job done, and maybe he's feeling himself right now, and that could be good news for the side of Kungara, as Carahouse as well going to be met with yet another loss and kind of a unfortunate situation. So we'll see if they can hold it together.
Very similar setup coming out from Kungara as well. And again, it's going to be Michael contested towards this B-long position alone. He's going to spot a player through the window, throws the smoke, backs off, calls for that support from Brando. And again, Carahouse kind of just doing the same thing here, rotating back into mid. I'm wondering, though, if Famous might play a little bit differently this time around. You can see he's moved early over towards that B bomb site, kind of expecting a similar approach from Carahouse.
Yeah, and would expect him to be a bit crisper on some of those entry, well, I don't even know what you call it, but the guys that are running at you, just headshot them as they are running in. And it does look very similar here from Carahouse. Will it be towards B? They do have the one guy towards A room, though, so maybe just execution onto A. And it might work at this point, because the only guy who's covering this is actually Mercs. There's Kais as well in the spawn that could look through. That was a pretty clean one, as he is going to call for some help. Throws a flash, some utility, trying to buy some time for the team, as they will leave the A site open, as they will look for a retake.
Famous, though, not going to check the tower position, goes down quickly to Rambo. Thankfully, Brando trades that one out. Kungara hold on to the numbers advantage as the bomb goes down. Counter flashes already being thrown in. That is a perfect flash over the top of site. Lucas, he's just trying to play for time here, but it doesn't matter. Kungara just explosively retakes this bomb site and takes the 2-0.
Yeah, although Kungara gets this run, I felt like it was unnecessary to take this gamble, like to basically stack three guys on B side. I think Michael should play a little bit more aggressive towards long B, so he gets information. Okay, no player from Carahouse is there. We can rotate towards A side, but anyway, good retake. I think it looked kind of scary because they only had one M4 player. And yeah, like retaking A side is tough. If you have no M4, there's so many like boxes where you can go for a wall bang. But anyway, it still worked out.
Yeah, Carahouse not really able to set up a good enough defense there on that site. Also down a member after the trade in the tower. Famous did go down, but still they had enough guys to just sweep over the A site. And that's a great start here from the Global Risk side. They are pretty comfortable and confident from here. They didn't look quite that strong on GR on some of the other maps, but they come into Compound and things are starting off pretty well. I do feel like Carahouse is kind of, you know, they've opened the book of Compound strategies and they're like, okay, plan A, let's do that twice. And it's kind of, you know, pretty predictable. Kungara has been able to respond to it the first round. Obviously, a little bit of a clutch from Michael to help them out with that. But yeah, it seems like they've got a good read on what's going on from Carahouse.
Yeah, you could see the same start here as well. A lot of presence towards the B pillars. This time they're going to push through it, though. Michael having to hold this off with Brando playing the corner box position. Carahouse, they seem ready to go in, but are they going to check this corner? Nobody really looking there just yet. Brando peeks a little bit too early, gets taken down by Dola. Michael on the follow-through, not going to find anything famous. He's snuck into this corner pocket position, and this is where he has to find some massive value in the round.
Yeah, Brando played way too aggressive from this angle. He didn't even have an AK. It's tough to peek from this angle with an M4.
Yeah, and he only did like a little bit of chip damage. I mean, the timing definitely seemed a little bit off. They could have just felt the pressure, maybe wait for some teammates to come on over, which at this point, you're only 3 guys against 4. A lot of utility coming through, though. Famous should be able to line this up. They don't check the pocket, and he picks up 2. Mercs as well lands that headshot from the bottom of servers. And now it's only JRK who is going to be taken out. That's 3 in a row to the side of Kungara. Thanks to Famous this time, kind of in a very sneaky spot to pick up 2.
What a mistake from Carahouse. This is one of the most obvious angles you should check before executing towards bomb side B. But yeah, Famous was happy about it. I think could even get like 3K in this round, but whiffing some shots at the end. Anyway, Mercs closing out the round here for Kungara. And they are now leading 3-0.
Yeah, really liking what we're seeing so far, and honestly, one of the most well-rounded performances so far as well from Kungara. Everybody stepping up in these rounds to make sure they can hold on and grab them. And this is the team we were hoping to see in that opening match against Ranking, but on the other side, Carahouse, I still feel like they're having a lot of the same issues, not checking their corners correctly, going in a little bit one by one. And they've got to find a way to answer that soon, otherwise they could be staring down another similar fate in this match.
Yeah, I mean, consider Carahouse's position. They've won 2 rounds in the last couple of days. It's not exactly a good feeling. And now, I mean, they're going to try to mix up the strategies this time straight in. And this time, Brando is going to at least get the 1 kill. And honestly, that's all you expect and all you want from him. You've got other guys like Famous who will just light them up with 2 headshots. And Mercs is stepping up here as well. Was a little bit absent in the first match today, but he's stepping up. And it's 4-0 from the side of Kungara. They look like the much better team so far.
Yeah, what a flick shot from Famous. I felt for 1 second that his positioning was kind of off in this situation, but he still managed to get the 2-piece. It was interesting that this positioning from Brando worked out, because usually I think it's not the best position if you have an M4 especially, but he still got the entry frag.
Now it's kind of back to the drawing board for Carahouse, testing their luck a little bit towards A long. Kungara has 2 players stacked in this room ready to go for it. But Carahouse, they're just kind of bunched up here, hoping a pick comes their way. But Kungara playing very, very patient.
Yeah, Kungara have not played that style that some of the Chinese teams play, which is understandable, where, you know, they're always like peeking out looking for information. And Carahouse aren't going to get a lot of value by just kind of standing here as a team. Let's see if it works out as they do push into the A room. Famous and Mercs get 1 apiece, and now Famous going to pick up 2. They can't root him out. He's got 37. Okay, finally, Dola is going to be able to take him out, but a lot of casualties on their way. And now it's 2 against 3 from the Blacklist side. Things are already not looking so good. Let's see if Carahouse can put something together with Dola and Shady.
It looks like they are going to go for this mid play. Dola actually arm in hand, pretty uncommon for him. Trying to find that pick onto Kais. They know Kais loves to play this backside position. Doesn't matter, he gets a kill before going down. And now it is on to Shady, the 1v3. Down to a 1-on-2 here. Trying to sneak across. Brando and Michael have the right idea, though, across on that doorway in case he tries to push through. Now they've got the quick double up for the retake. They know he can't be close by on that doorway. And now Shady, he has to play this timing to perfection. He's going for the full wraparound. But if Kungara goes in and just sticks this bomb, there could be no time for him to make this happen.
And they might read this, although they are clearing out all of A long first, so not quite going to get the angle. And now shelling from the tower is Shady. Already doing a lot of damage here to Brando. He's going to land those onto Michael as well. And there it is, the headshot. Didn't even necessarily need it as Shady had taken some damage, but still They will welcome it as Kungara clean up a 5th round in a row.
I can't believe Brando got this frag at the end. But I also felt like it was a crucial mistake from Carahouse here, long A. Because, for example, Baisha, when they send Xiao long A and he spots someone jump spotting there, right? They will just back off. They won't commit because they know there will be at least 2 players. It's a common setup, right? It's a common long A stack. For some reason, Carahouse decided still to commit towards long A, and Famous got this 2-piece. Also, Max got 1 frag. So yeah, I think this was a mistake from Carahouse taking long A control.
Yeah, it almost feels like in recent history seeing these guys, this team just feels kind of shattered in how they're playing. There's no cohesion in what they want to do, and their strategies seem to be some of the weakest we've seen overall in this event. So I'm hoping they can find a way to maybe conquer that, but at the same time, it presents a really good opportunity now for Kungara to maybe bounce back and even take that #1 spot. If they get a 10-0 on a map, they could even redeem themselves from the first set.
Which would be kind of insane. As we're going all the way back here, actually, to the Michael clutch and seeing multiple replays, actually. And yeah, a lot of these, I mean, that shot, very crisp, very clean, even a headshot. As Shady's still highest ADR in the lobby. And that, I think, is mostly because on the side of Kungara, you see everybody's pulling their weight. All 5 members are at least, 70 plus. And that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I think moving forward, Carahouse got to do a better job of setting up on these post-plant situations and just getting in a little bit cleaner as well. They almost leave too much on the table and how they're taking these early fights. They've got to know what they're up against. It's not like Kungara's doing anything crazy and unpredictable here. They're just not securing trades on common angles. And for Carahouse, it's very bizarre to see because this is normally a team that knows exactly what they're up against, but now they're just going to full send it all the way through mid here onto the A bomb site. The pressure is on to Kais very quickly to hit the shots. He already finds himself 1, looks for the second. Not going to happen though. Carahouse, they steamroll their way into the bomb site for now.
Yeah, they're going to make their way in. And you can see that the setup from the side of Kungara had kind of Famous playing mid, and then you've had Brando and Michael kind of leaning towards B. So actually a pretty nice rush play to isolate the sniper on the A site, throw in some utility over the top, and just get in there with some entry frags. Now they've got this plant, and all 3 members of Kungara going to try to go in the same direction as Michael does pick up the 1, but you can see that this hold is going to come through as they finally get around in this match. I mean, it seems few and far between for Carahouse, but they get the job done.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Carahouse, they need everything they can get to close out this half. It is still a GR-sided map, so, maybe they find themselves 3 or 4 rounds out of this half. It's not a bad positioning, considering they are a very GR-sided team as well. When we saw their stats earlier, it was close to a 70% win rate for them on the GR side, even against some of the stronger teams they were up against, obviously aside from Baisha, where they didn't get any rounds there, but still overall a good position to be in, knowing they are a strong GR team if they can get maybe 3 out of this half instead of a huge stomp against them.
Let's see this rotation in from Carahouse. This time it's mid in through pillars, but Kungara haven't really made any big changes in their defensive setup. They have had some of those, A long kind of setups like Seven was talking about, but generally it's, you got Michael and Brando playing the one side. They're covering B. You got Famous kind of playing flex. He's going to both sides depending on the pressure. And then they're just waiting for Carahouse to make a push, and it's been working out, so especially with smokes like those, which not gonna help the mental state, perhaps. Not gonna make Carahouse feel very happy. The spray here going to kind of whiff, but Brando's gonna come out with the M4, picks up 2, and that is going to be now 3-on-3.
Yeah, the rotation here, though, from Michael going to be key in this round. He's kind of being held by Rambo, but it doesn't matter. Kai's good for 1 in mid, but the push comes through anyways. Dola takes down Mercs, gets control of the B bomb site, but Rambo, he has to take this fight and win it. And there you have it. He does find the kill, but Kais is still alive, trying to isolate the 1v1 onto Dola. He has to push him on the plant here. Almost catches him. Rambo saves the day, though. And hey, it's a second round.
Yeah, what a play from Rambo, going for the flash instead of peeking first, and then Michael obviously was blind. Rambo knew the position, just goes for the wall bang. This was definitely the key frag in this round.
Yeah, gets them total B control, and then Kai's got to push in a pretty difficult position. He almost got the drop on Dola, I think, who was planning that one, but it wasn't meant to be. He couldn't hit the one tap, and then Rambo just swings, picks up the kill. And yeah, 2 in a row, so bit streaky from both sides. Carahouse finally look like they have woken up a little bit here in this series. And perhaps Kungara kind of sitting back hasn't worked out for them a couple of times. So now, trying to get a little bit more pressure in through the pillars. They do have 3 guys around this area as Carahouse, similar strategy to last round, trying to clear out from this angle. Let's see what Famous can do, as he is about to get the information. They do not check this one. He picks up 2. And now Brando trying his best, but he's not quite going to hit those shots. Michael as well from the backside. Extra defense. The setup here from Kungara going to allow them to trade equally.
Still a bit of a misplay, I feel like, from Brando there. He had the opportunity to even grab another 2. He just couldn't hit those shots when he needed them. And now Carahouse, they've got even numbers on the blacklist side. Not the worst place to be. And certainly spreads out the defenders as well. But Kai is not the challenge you really want to be taking here if you're Carahouse. He's going to have a chance for 1. Gets it. Looks for the follow-up onto Lucas. And you can tell Lucas, he's got the bomb in hand. He does not want to risk this.
Yeah, he will take his time. Still a minute left, and Rambo is kind of going Rambo. He's going in by himself. Lucas as well is going to get a very clean shot there onto Kais. That flick is huge. It's Rambo and his buddy Lucas going to be able to get a couple of picks, 1 apiece. And now Michael's got to go 1v2 in a very not easy situation now.
Yeah, the time's ticking. He's got to move a little bit faster than this to get it to go his way. He's got some utility to work with, a flash and a smoke here, so maybe he can make this happen, but he has to move quickly to clear out all of these angles on site. Lucas and Rambo, they've got a perfect trade set up on the backside of this. He's just going to try and stick it, though. Certainly not. It's not going to happen. No time there. The push comes through. Maybe if he sticked it, he had a chance, but just a tough one.
I still don't understand why Michael and Mercs didn't rotate towards A side, because Kais has the information that the 2 guys long A from Carahouse. So instead of staying B side, just go for a crossfire and mid, play a little bit more aggressive, because Kais had to basically snipe towards 3 different angles at the same time, because he was alone on A side. And yeah, I think at least 1 player should have rotated off towards at least mid, but for some reason both players were staying on this bomb side B, which cost them the round in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely some sluggish defensive rotations, you could say, from the side of Kungara, just trying to hold on to their bomb site. But it's not the right play in that certain situation, as you highlighted. So, yeah, we'll see if they can kind of mix things up. But this is the last round before the half, so 3 in a row going the way of Carahouse means that perhaps with this momentum going into the second half, Carahouse can get something done themselves. As Michael getting some good information. Just going to hop by. He knows that, you know, the crosshairs were right on that door, but he's able to get out and just going to hold a defensive position here on B.
Yeah, now Carahouse, they're going to back off here. Not really trying to force this push in towards B. Carahouse, a team that usually prefers to execute out of the middle of this map. Seems likely they're going to take that approach again with 3 starting to group up for it. The bomb working its way towards A long for that split as well. Though they do leave Rambo in the tunnels for now. Looks like it's going to be a full grouping here in mid, though. The mid to B, usually not too bad of a call here on this map, especially if you can take down this player holding the corner. It is going to be Famous this time around, playing that off angle. Mercs as well underneath for the support, but Carahouse, there's a bit of hesitation here. The nades finally coming out to smoke off this A bomb side entrance. They're going to go ahead and try and sneak across here. Mercs pushes through the smoke, maybe a bit of an error on his end. Now Michael has to hang on alone on this corner, but they're doubling back to A off of that play. Dola, good for one. Kais has to find something here, but Dola takes him down alongside Lucas as well. Rambo holds the rotators off. Brando in a 1v4. It doesn't seem too likely.
Yeah, pretty good read from Carahouse. They got that pick onto Mercs, who went for the early peek, and then they just said, well, Famous is probably over by B or in the middle. Let's not even try to go that way. We've opened up the A site already. Let's just hop in there and isolate Kais, who's probably going to be there. And, you know, the side of Kungara were playing very similar positions the entire half. So at the end of the day, just able to isolate Kais, and they move on to A and take a pretty easy round. So 5 in a row for Kungara, and then 4 in a row for Carahouse. What does it mean?
I mean, it looks quite good for Carahouse, right? It's GR side at this map, and Vietnamese teams are known for their very good setups, and also, unfortunately, Kungara is not known for their good executes. So I think the momentum is slightly shifting in favor of the Vietnamese team.
Yeah, right now, very forward as well from Carahouse in this opening round. 3 players in pillars. Nobody on the other side. The timing just not quite perfect here for them to meet up. Kungara starting to take that pressure towards the B bomb site. The bomb's still down in mid though. They've got one lurking over towards A as well. It's going to be Famous just holding on to that A long position. But Kungara not really taking any ground just yet, waiting to see if they can find more of these players posted up on these sites, but Carahouse playing extremely safe in the opening round.
Yeah, nobody's peeking. Defensive, kind of hopping by the door over by JRK to make sure nobody's coming in through B. Just feels like, you know, the teams have swapped sides, but they look very similar in terms of their setups. You know, a little bit of early action in the pillars from Carahouse, but other than that, was also thinking that Kungara was going to go mid, but it does look like kind of a split into B, actually. As Famous going to push through the smoke, he picks up that one headshot, and now has a team pushing in onto JRK, but the rest of the team got kind of just cleaned up in mid, actually, as they were pushing in, and now it's only a couple of guys here, Michael and Mercs, who have to try to push into Carahouse, and the momentum is gone from this push.
Yeah, a lot of hesitation here on taking this side as well. Michael, I feel like he could have got in if he had gone a little bit sooner. Now Mercs is alone. It's not going to happen in Carahouse. 5 in a row to tie it up.
Yeah, I don't get why Kungara only sent 2 players through GR base, because usually it's much more difficult to push GR base towards B than through B machine room. So I would have sent 3 or even 4 players towards GR base, and then maybe sent like Michael, DRK as kind of the lurk role towards machine room.
Yeah, I do agree. Kind of maybe a lot of reliance on Famous to just say, okay, Famous, go kill. Like, go run through mid, and you can open up the map. Kais is going to get a little snipe here in mid, actually. As now Brando trying to get aggressive onto JRK as well. They know he is here now, trying to look for the double peek. This is pretty good, as they are able to isolate him. I remember Chow yesterday was just able to get 4 free kills in a row, getting single peeked over and over in that exact spot. As Kais this time clean with the Colt. As Rambo still alive though, trying to hold on to this one 2v4, but a pretty decent setup here for the side of Kungara.
Lucas, though, gets the backstab onto Michael. The 2v5 quickly turning into a 2-on-3, but they're running low on time to get this. Look at this angle from Rambo. I'm not sure if he spotted Famous there or what, but Brando, he's now stuck in this position. Rambo has the sneak on him. Doesn't matter, though. Famous swings wide, and Kungara finally put a stop to the madness, getting their first round in quite a while.
That's what Carahouse also should avoid, right? Like just giving them entry frags for free, basically. Because again, Kungara is not known for the good executes. If they just play passive, good setups, the Vietnamese squad, I think they should take this map. If they keep playing aggressive, they basically give them rounds for free.
Yeah, you got to be really careful, especially with the way this map has gone so far, where it feels like either side could really just burst out into the lead. If you give Kungara even a tiny bit of momentum, maybe they just win 5 rounds in a row again. I think it would be less likely from the Blacklist side given the team and the map, but I mean, Carahouse haven't looked super solid themselves as well. So Kungara waiting for some more aggression. Doesn't look like it's going to come through this time, although there are 4 people from Carahouse waiting for a push through mid. And then they've got, you know, JRK over here at the B entrance trying to hold this solo, as you generally can.
Yeah, I really like the setup coming out of Carahouse. They've got 4 players pressuring mid, kind of anticipating that mid execute either way. And only JRK holding on to the B tunnels, but this could be a really good read, but they are slowly moving out of this setup, losing a little bit of that presence they had on mid. They can kind of shift into it, though, quickly if they anticipate the push. You can see they're moving towards this mid hold. Dola, under pressure, finds himself a kill. It's not going to be anything more, though. Shady backs off instead of going for the trade, still gets that little fadeaway onto Famous, and now they have the numbers to retake this one pretty comfortably. The bomb's still not planted as well, but the time is ticking. They've got to plant it soon.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if Carahouse are able to sweep in after the plant. Shady coming in here a little bit early. He's got that M4 and is going to be key, but very nicely done by Kais to get that pick off, and he gets another one as they're trying to pressure Kais, and he just doesn't give a damn. He's going to pick up 2. He's going to pick up a 3rd as well as he is defending this by himself, and now it's just Lucas, and they know where he is. They're even going to give this kill over to Kais. Might as well a huge round from Kais to save this one for Kungara.
Yeah, what a 4-piece from Kais, and also like the decision, like going for the aggressive play here towards C. Because, I mean, Carahouse were up numbers, so you have to do something, especially because Kungara didn't have any M4 players towards A side. So yeah, Kais saving the day here for the A squad. I love to see it.
Yeah, really good stuff to keep them out in front. Carahouse, they had the numbers for the retake. They just couldn't get things rolling together in the play. And that seems to be their biggest hindrance overall, just not being able to play as a cohesive unit on these retake situations. Now Kungara, they are 3 away from taking a first map in this series. Starting to put that early pressure into Pillars this round as well. And again, Carahouse just playing extremely safe here, not going for any risk in this round.
Yeah, I mean, especially after that last one, probably want to slow things down or just take a moment to breathe, as it's not going to be an easy pill to swallow. Michael with the entry kill onto JRK, who I think JRK right now is at like 3 and 10. He's not having the best map. This is, again, Carahouse's map pick, and right now, Kungara, it feels like, again, the momentum is swinging in their favor. You give them a couple of rounds, and maybe this is all they need to take off. Let's see if they can continue to put on this pressure and get some clean executes as well. Here comes Kais now. He has been relied on alongside a Famous to try to look for these entry frags and look for these pickoffs before they do go for plays.
Kungara creeping their way towards the A bomb site. They've got their whole team focused in this direction, leaving Michael in the mid tower to try and catch the rotators as they come through. Famous leading on the entries with Mercs. They're ready to go into this one and just full send it, but they've got to be careful. Dola and Shady both on the other side of it. The timing, he looks away. Dola goes down without a fight. Michael catches the flank in mid, almost gets the drop shot onto Shady. Mercs secures it. What a headshot, though, to flick over and get it done. And this could be the start of the end of map number 1 here if Kungara keep playing like this.
Yeah, Michael just won this round with Kungara. First he gets the entry frag, then he goes for the fake flash towards mid. This was the main reason why Dola was also watching mid, and then Famous could easily pick him up. So credits to Michael stepping up to the plate here.
Yeah, absolutely. We did get another look at Kais' play. As speaking of which, going to open this one up. They feel the pressure. Carahouse are really just sending it, and it is not working for them. As Kungara once again going to get the big upper hand onto them. This is about to be 9-5 unless JRK can pull off some insane kind of clutch. Look at Michael on the map as well. He's about to get the flank coming in from behind, but JRK is going to try to push it. Down he goes, and that is 9-5 on Carahouse's map pick. Kungara are about to run away with this one.
Yeah, I mean, after that first match, I wasn't feeling too good about my prediction, but you know what?
Same.
Now I'm feeling a little bit better. Kungara stepping it up, but it almost feels like at the same time, Carahouse is handing over a lot of these rounds. It's not necessarily Kungara playing overwhelmingly well as a team. They're just doing what they need to and kind of reading into the hand of Carahouse playing a little bit overly aggressive. This time, though, Shady gets the pick onto Michael. An early round number they haven't found in a while. Kai's almost equalizes there. Rambo down to 30 HP as he sneaks away.
Yeah, just hitting him in the ankle as he was hopping by. Rambo getting away lucky with that one, especially with how Kai's has been playing. Not even necessarily the famous show, or, you know, if you're going to look at one person, it is Kai's with a couple of clutches and some big numbers so far. But also just as a team, Kungara keeping it together for longer than Carahouse. I feel like it was so close. And then sometimes this happens where, you know, one team just, a couple of their strategies fail, and then it just feels like they're kind of donezo. As Kai's not going to hit that one. But the team looking to push in to A at this point in time is JRK. Again, not going to be able to hold them off. Lucas trying to come in here from behind as he is not spotted. Does pick up 2, but again, decent spot here for Kungara on the site, 2v2.
Yeah, Shady really the key in this round. Rambo doesn't have any health to work with, but neither do Mercs and Famous. They're both under half HP. Shady, he can do a lot in this one if he plays his cards right. The C4 still yet to be planted, and this is the big risk in the round. If the plant goes down and they get caught during the process of trying to plant this bomb, it's automatically a 1 versus 2 situation. They're not going to have a good advantage in at all, but Shady and Rambo, they know that. They're not getting too over-eager just yet. You can see Famous using that nade to stall any potential peek on the planter, and now this is where Famous has to step up, gets the first kill, and now it's all up to Rambo. He gets the first shots though. Mercs, the newcomer to this team, can he do it to close out the map? The bomb already down to halftime. Rambo has to get moving, but Mercs, he's going to run into trouble. The utility being thrown on him doesn't matter. They get it done, and Kungara take the first map 10-5.